waiting for a while, right? Denver was awarded an NWSL franchise at a record expansion fee for that league. Now, there are some negative things swirling around the new team in Denver because of some choices they've made with hirings and people named in the Yates report. But I don't want to dive into that. I just want to go very simple. Let's go visuals today here on a Wednesday. Here is the new name and logo for the Denver team in NWSL, Denver Summit FC. Now, just like everything else in American soccer, this name has split opinion across the internet. I have seen people say, I love this. This is great. It's got, a color scheme that makes it stand out. Obviously, not everybody goes, hey, you know what we should do? Green with orange and yellow. Now, it also, though, is almost so cliche to Colorado that I think it's striking some people as lazy or not nearly as interesting enough for what was possible. Now, I'll tell you my immediate reaction was I like it. That's just my immediate reaction without diving too deeply into what it is and what it isn't. The green mountains makes me think of Colorado. If you've ever seen a Colorado license plate, that's what a Colorado license plate looks like. So for me, it evokes the Colorado license plate, which evokes Colorado, which makes me feel, and I have family from Colorado, so I am, I like that part of it. The sunset element, again, fairly cliche, but it's got something interesting about it. Again, I don't know that anybody would think, you know what we should do? Put the green with those sunset colors. I have seen some, explainer things about this, that there is, that the slope on the mountains is 26 degrees because they're starting in 2026. Okay, Easter eggy stuff. I mean, yeah, sure, whatever. If that floats your boat, more power to you. I'm not going to be mad about it. It just feels a little over the top. Now, there are alternate marks, and give me your thoughts here on this logo. All right, Jay Hunt is the perfect mix of European and American. Okay, like that. Mike Thomas, I like it. Good name. Logo is pretty clean. All right. Pretty clean is a nice way to describe it. There are alternate marks here. So let's look at these. This is the D with the mountains in the front. I dig this. Now, this also plays directly to me because I'm a Denver Broncos fan, and we got rid of the D with the Bronco coming out of it a long time ago, and I'm still sad. Like, that's 30 years that happened, and I'm still sad about it. I don't love just the Bronco head or whatever we're doing now. So I like this. I love the D. Jay Hunt saying perfect hat logo. Absolutely. Now, I did see this opinion. I saw this opinion. This is from Chris. Reminds me of a national park patch. Now, he's giving that a thumbs up. I think some people might say, well, a national parks patch, is that a good thing? Do you want to be associated with that? Is that what a football club, a soccer club should look like? Yeah, I'll leave that to you. I do think what always stands out for me in these situations is you are not going to make everybody happy. You have to accept that when you start the process of trying to brand your new soccer team. That being said, you can go one of two ways. You can either choose the path of least resistance, which is to do something boring, something simple. Just call it Denver FC, Colorado FC, whatever. And then, I don't know, again, something a little less demanding of the viewer. I mean, I think because of the color scheme and some other elements, this one at least has that. Now, again, cleanliness, is it clean? I'll leave that to you to decide. There are some things about it that I think are, national parky or brewery logo, which is what I saw some people say on Blue Sky. There is also this patch, by the way, or this alternate logo. This is those mountains again, the same mountains, consistent across all three, but with 5280 behind it, 5280 in the colors of the sunset. 5280 is the elevation of Denver above sea level, right? So that's one of the elements that Denver always, harkens to, always points to, that the Mile High City thing being 5280, being up there, reminding any other visiting sports team, when you come here, you're playing at altitude. Get ready. Now, it's not the same as playing at altitude Mexico, which we know that MLS teams have learned in very difficult ways. The crest, secondary logos, all of this designed by, I'll give you one guess who designed this. Chat, does anybody in the chat know, or could you guess without looking, who designed these logos for the new team in Denver, Denver Summit? And I really haven't even talked about the name. We'll get to the name here in a second. Do have some other, see, in my opinion, that's a good hat logo, would fit the front of a good flat bill perfectly. Good branding from Mike Thomas. Mike Thomas and Chris with the right answer. Matthew Wolf. Of course it was Matthew Wolf who designed these. Matthew Wolf, a guy behind, LAFC, Tulsa Athletic, the current Chicago Fire badge, I believe is a Matthew Wolf production. Somebody remind me, or somebody let me know if I'm wrong. Vermont Green, which he's involved with that club, not just in terms of the branding, but also involved with that club. Anyway, I like this a lot. I think this is this screams Colorado to me, and I'm on board with this. Now, as for the name, Denver Summit, yeah, that thing is Summit is again one of those cliche things that is a little bit overused, right? That's what a cliche is. Obviously, this is overused in Colorado. Everything is Summit this, everything is Summit that because of the mountains. And yet, again, I don't know that you need to overthink this. Like, I don't know that you need to go, we got to be something different because everything in Denver, everything in Colorado is called Summit Brewery, Summit this, Summit that. The Summit evokes heights, it evokes selections. Excellence. It evokes, achieving something in addition to being a name that works for a soccer team. So, shout out to Denver Summit FC, the newest club to enter NWSL starting in 2026. When that gear gets dropped, I will have to seriously consider grabbing some of it. I do have intentions of getting some other NWSL gear. I don't currently own anything, and that's a big miss on my part. So, so let's go to the geography briefly. I have another couple minutes before we move on. John is saying Denver is on the flat plain. It's not in the mountains. This is true. Okay, let's be clear. My mom was born on the plains of Colorado. They are vast and they are flat. And that's the whole eastern half of the state. But the mountains are ever present if you live in Denver. They are there. You can see them. They never go away. You know exactly where you are directionally because of the mountains. So while John is correct in terms of the topography of Denver itself, Denver is a plain city, but it is the gateway to the mountains, hence the mountains, hence the background. And there we go. Let me see what else is going on in the chat. People are going to say Denver Summit feels like an outdoor hiking wear company. That might be true. That might be true. Again, I think you're going to find yourself in that bucket regardless of what you do with this. Like, unless you just go completely off the charts in terms of evoking things about Denver and Colorado, I think you're just going to go, hey, that sounds like an outdoor company or something like that. All right. All right.